was a dinner party to celebrate Kevin's promotion. But the night would be remembered for something far more devastating.
Sam, this is Anthony. He's an oncologist at St. Mary's. Same hospital as your mom.
Oh, my mother, Deborah Cole, is a patient. Stage 3 ovarian.
Deborah Cole? Sorry, that name doesn't ring a bell. I know most cases.
She's been in treatment for months. You are sure?
Positive. I'd remember a stage 3 ovarian. Not in my department.
Samantha's smile froze. The music and chatter dimmed, replaced by a roaring in her ears.
He doesn't know her. That's not a mistake.
She excused herself through the crowd. The party continued, but a fracture had just opened. One honest answer, and the careful lie of 4 months started to split wide across the floor of her mind. 4 months earlier, that lie had begun with a phone call that shattered a quiet Tuesday afternoon.
Sam, honey, the doctor just called. It's stage 3 ovarian cancer.
Mom, no. That can't be right. What did they say exactly?
They want me to start treatment next week. But don't tell anyone. I can't face the pity.
She sounds so broken. I have to do something.
Within hours, Samantha had opened her laptop to start a fundraising page.
No one should fight this alone. I'll make sure she has every chance.
She uploaded a photo of Deborah smiling from last Christmas, the title reading "Help Deborah Fight Stage 3. She wrote about her mother's strength, the upcoming battle, and the crushing weight of medical bills. She clicked publish, believing she was saving her mother's life. Within days, the campaign spread beyond friends. Strangers with their own cancer stories gave. The progress bar surpassed 10,000, then 30. Each ping of a donation was a jolt of grateful adrenaline. A message read, "I lost my mother to this. God bless you, Samantha."
They're all so kind. They need this money to matter.
But at the first scheduled treatment, Deborah called with a tremble in her voice.
Honey, I just can't have you there. The anxiety. The doctors say solitude might help.
Solitude? For chemo? Mom, that doesn't sound right.
Please, don't question it. You are already my strength from far away.
And that was the pattern. 4 months. 0 appointments witnessed. 0 bills seen. The fundraiser sat at $84,000, and Samantha had spoken to no doctor, visited no treatment room, held no medical bill in her hands. But the night of Kevin's promotion, before the guests arrived, Samantha smoothed her blouse and tried to feel only pride.
I got the corner office, Sam. Finally. All that late-night work paid off.
You deserve it. Every single bit. Tonight we celebrate you.
Sam, my date tonight? An oncologist at St. Mary's. I totally forgot your mom's there.
A real oncologist. Maybe he can finally give me the details. Mom keeps hiding.
She gripped the counter, a thrilling dread tightening her chest, and thought of the $84,000.
You seem distracted. Are you thinking about your mom?
Actually, yeah. Lisa's date is a doctor at her hospital. I might finally get some answers.
The doorbell chimed. Laughter and clinking glasses soon filled the house, and when Lisa guided a tall man with gentle eyes through the crowd, Samantha felt the floor tilt. In the powder room, Samantha pressed both palms flat against the cool marble, her reflection trembling.
He said he knows every active patient. Every single one. That wasn't ambiguous.
She reapplied lipstick with a steadiness that felt like lying, then stepped back into the warm hum of the party.
Sam, you okay? You went pale, all of a sudden.
It's just the wine. I am fine. Really, don't make a thing.
But she spent the next hour avoiding Dr. Anthony's sightline, the clink of forks and laughter pressing against her temples.
I can't be here. If I hear one more toast, I am going to break.
She leaned close to Kevin, mouth tight, and whispered something about a sudden migraine.
Let's go. I am sorry. I just need to leave now.
What did that doctor say to you? You've been off ever since.
At home, the bedroom felt airless. Samantha lay staring at the ceiling, the party already dissolving into a bad dream.
He didn't know her, Kev. He said Deborah Cole has never been in his oncology department, not even a consultation.
That can't be right. Maybe she sees a different doctor. There's got to be an explanation.
She's dodged every appointment for months. No bills, no treatment summaries, just her voice on the phone saying, "Trust me." I trusted her with $84,000 from strangers. What if there was never anything to fight?
She sat up, eyes adjusting to the dark. A decision condensed from the hours of doubt.
Tomorrow morning, I am pulling her insurance records. Every page. I need to see the truth.
Then we'll know. Whatever it is, we'll handle it.
She lay back, but no sleep came. Only the slow countdown to daylight and the weight of a secret not yet uncovered. By the time the window lightened, she had already memorized the path to the online insurance portal. At 7:42 a.m., she sat before the screen and entered Deborah's insurance credentials with unblinking precision. She scrolled, routine visits, a dental claim, a flu shot. Not a single oncology billing code anywhere. The search filter read, "No oncology claims found." The screen offered no apology. She picked up the phone and dialed member services, her voice flat when she finally spoke.
Can you please confirm, has Deborah Cole had any cancer treatments billed through your plan in the last 6 months?
The agent's answer landed like dropped glass. "No, ma'am. There are no oncology claims on this account."
She fabricated everything. The appointments, the pain, the fear. It was all a script.
Samantha didn't cry. She opened a search engine and typed, "Charity fraud over $25,000.
A felony. She's living inside my fundraiser, and it's a felony.
She printed the records, the pages warm from the machine. Then she sat back and let the truth finish spreading through her. She placed the call before the information could soften, before her own voice could learn to lie back.
Oh, honey, I was just thinking about you. How was Kevin's party?
It was fine, but Mom, what's your next treatment date? I want to be there.
Next week, I think. But the doctor said no stress. Let's keep things the same.
You keep saying that, but I've never met any of your doctors.
Are you accusing me? I am your mother, fighting for my life.
Samantha closed her eyes, felt the old guilt pull, then set it aside like a tool she no longer needed.
I am sorry. I'll come see you later.
Yes, darling. Just call first.
The line clicked dead. Samantha grabbed her keys, the insurance sheets folded in her bag. She drove with both hands locked on the wheel, the insurance pages crackling against her thigh at every stoplight.
4 months, and I never once saw a waiting room. How did I believe she was too fragile for company?
The excuses flashed behind her eyelids. Always the same tremor, always the same plea for privacy. "Not today, sweetie. The doctor says I need rest. You don't need to see me like this."
And the doctor's name? Dr. Vance. I heard it once in a voicemail. Never met him. Never found a number.
She turned onto Deborah's street. The familiar cracked driveway came into view.
I have the proof. She owes me the truth.
She parked, engine still ticking, and sat for a full minute staring at the front door.
The last time I crossed that door, I was a daughter. Now I am a stranger with evidence.
She stepped out. The insurance sheets stayed in her hand. She didn't knock. She just pushed the door open, finding Deborah arranging a vase of fake flowers.
Sam, you scared me. I didn't hear the bell. What's wrong?
I pulled your insurance records this morning. All of them.
Insurance? What are you talking about? That's private.
0 oncology claims. No chemo, no radiation, not a single doctor's visit. It was all a lie.
Deborah's face crumpled, not from shame but from the sudden removal of a mask she had worn past exhaustion.
All right, there was no cancer. I couldn't keep it up anymore.
It's true. She just admitted it. Every tear, every excuse. It was performance. Where did the money go? $84,000, Mom. What did you do?
Deborah's sobs filled the silence, but no answer came. The cancer story was dead, and in its place, a far uglier question took root. Deborah drew a shaky breath, and when she spoke again, every word was a confession.
I gambled, Sam. Online, cash games, loans from terrible people. $76,000.
$76,000? Mom, that's most of the fundraiser.
And Richard, his legal fees. He got charged with fraud, and I promised I'd pay.
Samantha's fingers went numb. Richard, her mother's boyfriend, a man she had never trusted.
You used my campaign, my name, to cover your gambling and your boyfriend's crimes?
I was going to lose everything. The house, the car. You don't understand.
She's not even sorry. She's still defending it. You already have. Everything real is gone.
Deborah crumpled further. The answer lay bare on the floor between them, and it was uglier than any tumor. She didn't say goodbye. She just walked out, the screen door clapping once behind her. The drive home was soundless. No radio, no tears, just the hum of the highway and the weight of 84,000 stolen dollars at the kitchen table. She opened her laptop and typed the words that would make the crime real. The screen displayed the statute. Charity fraud exceeding $25,000 is a Class 3 felony.
A felony. My mother is a felon.
Kevin appeared behind her, his hand warm on her shoulder.
What are you going to do, Sam?
I don't know. I wanted the truth, but now, this is a prison sentence.
Whatever you decide, I am with you.
But the decision sat on the kitchen table between them, a line that would sever blood and law alike. For 2 nights, she barely slept. The phone remained on the kitchen table, untouched, a silent accusation. On the 3rd morning, before the coffee had finished brewing, she picked it up and dialed the non-emergency number. The dispatcher's voice was steady. Samantha's own came out thin and fragile.
I need to report a fraud. A fake cancer fundraiser that raised $84,000.
She gave Deborah's full name, the hospital, the insurance records, every piece of evidence she had collected.
I can send the proof right now. Bank statements, campaign details, everything.
The dispatcher assigned a case number and said a detective would call within hours. When the call ended, she set the phone down and stared at the wall. The kitchen felt colder.
It's done. My mother is now a case number.
Kevin found her frozen. She fell into him, and he held her as the first tears came. The detective's call came faster than Samantha expected. An arrest warrant had been granted. She asked if she could be there, but the officer advised against it for her own safety. So she parked 1 block over, engine off, facing the house like a witness to her own life. At precisely 2:15 p.m., a police cruiser turned onto Deborah's street without lights or siren.
Deborah Cole, you are under arrest for felony charity fraud. Please step outside.
No, there's been a mistake. This is my daughter's doing. She's confused.
The officer repeated the charges. Deborah's legs nearly buckled as the words sank in. Handcuffs closed around her wrists. She was guided, head bowed, toward the waiting car. From her car, Samantha saw the glint of metal on her mother's hands and felt nothing. The cruiser pulled away, and the street returned to its quiet, the only sound the hum of Samantha's idling engine. Within 2 hours of the arrest, Samantha emailed GoFundMe's fraud team with the case number and insurance records. The reply arrived within a day. We have verified the fraud and will refund all donors under our protection clause. Samantha read the email 3 times. The money would go back, but the trust would never be so easily restored. She opened the campaign page and began typing an update. Honest, direct, taking full ownership of her part in the deception. She explained the fraud, the arrest, and the refund process. She did not blame her mother, only took accountability for not verifying sooner. When she clicked publish, the comments section went silent for 10 anxious minutes. Then the replies began. Some were furious, some heartbroken, some already suspicious. One donor wrote, "I gave thinking I was helping a dying woman. I feel sick." Another, "You should be ashamed." She expected anger. But among the accusations, a few voices said, "Thank you for telling the truth. That takes courage." By midnight, the page was a storm of fury and sorrow. But somewhere in the wreckage, a seed of redemption had been planted. Deborah's court appearance came 3 weeks later. Samantha sat in the 3rd row, her hands folded like a stranger's.
Yes, Your Honor, I accept full responsibility for fraudulently raising funds. I plead guilty.
The judge's voice was measured. 5 years probation, full restitution to all donors, and no contact with the fundraising platform. Samantha watched her mother's shoulders sag. No tears came, only a dry-eyed finality.
This isn't satisfaction. It's just the end of a long, ugly lie.
After the gavel fell, Samantha walked out into the corridor and leaned against the cold wall.
It's not enough that the money's returned. I have to write to each of them. Personally.
That evening, she placed a box of blank notes on the kitchen table. Over 200 empty spaces waited. She began by writing a single line, "I am sorry for the pain my family caused you." Then she wrote it again. By morning, the first 20 were sealed. Samantha's hand ached, but the silence in the kitchen felt less heavy. Days bled into one another under the lamp. Samantha wrote until her fingers cramped and her eyes blurred, envelopes spreading across the table.
You've been at this for hours, Sam. Here.
I am up to 170. Almost there.
The words had become a mantra she wrote without thinking. "I take full responsibility for the fraud that was committed. I am deeply sorry." She sealed each envelope with a private ritual, a moment of silence for the stranger it would reach.
203. That's the last one.
203 apologies. One for every person who trusted me.
The finished stack weighed 5 pounds. She lifted it like a child, carried it to the car, and drove in silence. At the post office, she slid the bundle into the metal slot. The hollow thud echoed in the empty lobby. She returned home to a quiet kitchen. All that remained of the letters was the ache in her hands and a strange, unfamiliar lightness. Replies trickled in slowly at first, then in a flood. Samantha brought a mail tub to the kitchen table and sat before it like a trial. The first she opened read, "How could you? I sent my last $20 for a lie."
They're right to be angry. I was angry too.
She tore through the stack, each envelope a verdict. Some called her a criminal. Others thanked her for her honesty. One handwritten note said, "You did the painful thing, the right thing. That's all we can ask. That's all we can ask."
Most people are kinder than I expected. Even the angry ones, they just wanted the truth.
You gave them the truth. That's more than most get.
She pressed on, reading until the light outside dimmed. By evening, the tub was half empty and the kitchen smelled of ink and paper. Some letters were just refund checks, returned with no note. Silent forgiveness or silent anger. She couldn't tell. But among them all, one envelope sat thicker than the rest. Unopened on the far corner of the table, Samantha lifted the thick envelope, her fingers unsteady as she tore the seal. A check for $200 slipped onto the table, its paperclip catching the light. A small note card followed. The note read, "You did the right thing. That's worth more than the money."
He's not asking for a refund. He gave me this.
She read the line 3 times, and each time the letters blurred a little more.
Somebody out there believes the truth still matters.
A sob broke from her chest, unguarded and raw, the first real release in months. Kevin found her with the check in her lap, her shoulders trembling.
Sam, what happened?
She couldn't speak. She just handed him the note and let him hold her as the tears fell. Not from anger, but from a grace she hadn't imagined. The next morning, Samantha took the check and note card to a small framing shop on Maple Street.
Something simple. Just wood and glass.
At home, she laid the check and note on black velvet backing, her movements deliberate, almost ceremonial.
This isn't just paper. This is the proof that truth still has value.
She chose the spot above her desk, where she would see it every day. The nail went in quietly. The frame settled against the wall with a soft click. The check and note suspended in perfect stillness.
There. Now it's real.
She stood there a long moment, her reflection ghosting the glass. For the first time in months, the silence didn't feel heavy.
I did the right thing, and someone out there saw it.
The note would stay there for years, not as a trophy, but as a compass. 1 year later, the framed note still hung above Samantha's desk. its edges softened by morning light. She stood by the window with a coffee cup, watching the neighborhood stir.
You are not staring at that note again, are you? It's become the most famous wall in the house.
It's the only wall that matters. Reminds me that I did the right thing.
Kevin leaned beside her, their reflections mingling in the glass.
No calls from her this year. I don't know if that's peace or sadness.
Maybe both. But you've made your own peace.
She turned from the window and looked at the frame again. The check and note still as a prayer. Outside, a neighbor's sprinkler chattered, and a dog barked in the distance. Ordinary morning sounds. The sun shifted, and the frame caught a perfect angle, the note's script glowing like it had been written in gold. In the quiet of an ordinary morning, the framed note was still there. Patrick's handwriting had become more than ink. It was a silent rebuttal to cynicism. The worst betrayals sometimes forge the strongest resolve, and the right thing, even when it costs everything, always has value. Samantha learned that not from the praise of strangers, but from the grace of a check returned without condition. The money was gone, the lie was over, and still a single truth remained, that doing what is right is not about perfection, but about honesty when it hurts the most. The frame on the wall was not a memory of pain, but a promise to herself. As the room filled with gentle light, the note held its ground, the light held, and the story settled into something like peace.